Hello there, beautiful dear soul ones across the planet. Thank you for tuning in. This is one video of a series of videos about conscious conception. And in this particular video, I wish to share about reclaiming our conception sovereignty. What if I told you that we have the ability and the power to choose whether we have children or not ourselves, without any physical intervention from the outside world? That we have the ability to deny conception if we wish to. That we have the ability to close the possibility of conception down for X amount of period or time. We have that ability. What if I told you that we have the ability to know the souls before we even conceive? In our preconception, we can get to know the soul or the souls that wish to be birthed through our portal, through our womb, through our gateway. We have that ability. That is nothing new or great or magical. That is our birthright. And this is something that has been known in ancient times, and even in the present time. There are women and tribes out there who have conscious conception. This is nothing new age or something far out there for only certain people to have. Every woman is able to have a conscious conception and choose whether they want to birth certain souls or not birth certain souls through their womb, through their gateway, through their porthole. For it is our portal, our gateway, and we are divine sovereign beings of light, and we are creators of our life, and thus our womb of creation is also part of our creating force, and we get to choose what we want to and not want to create through us. We have that ability, whether we are conscious or unconscious of it. We have that ability. There are many people who say out there as well that, my child was a mistake, or it was an accident, or it just happened. And I would like to state in my truth and understanding, perhaps it is not yours, but that there are no mistakes. There are no accidents. You have chosen, whether you are conscious or unconscious of it, to have that child or those children birthed through your womb. So if we want to reclaim our sovereignty about conception, let's have a look. When do we actually choose to have children? When does that occur? Now, there are two ways it can occur. You may have chosen this before you incarnated in this plane of existence, into this particular body you have right now. Or you have chosen or not chosen to do this during this lifetime, during this incarnation. Generally speaking, it is more likely, or it happens more often, that people choose before they incarnate. So in our in-between life, the time that we have died, passed on, we are in our in-between life, and before incarnating once again, birthing again in this plane of existence, we are planning, what we are going to do in this coming lifetime. And during that period, during that time, we tend to choose or not choose to have a child or children. And when we do that, certain soul contracts are made with those souls who wish to incarnate through our womb space. And that is usually how it goes, and that is set. And then you birth here and you go along your life, and then those soul contracts that you have made come true. Now, if you are aware of the choices that you had made in the in-between life, or during the life that you slowly become aware that you have made these soul contracts, that certain souls do, or a certain soul wishes to birth through you, then that is a very conscious way of going through your conception and your whole birthing experience. If you are unaware of this, then yes, it may look like an accident or a mistake has happened or a surprise, right? But we have the ability to be aware of this. If we just tune our consciousness into that. The other way that we can make these soul contracts is during our life here. So perhaps in our in-between life we made a contract for not having children, or most likely not having children, or most likely having children, or perhaps not at all, or definitely, but the soul contracts were never finished or finalized. And then during this lifetime as we incarnate, we consciously make or finalize certain or dissolve certain soul contracts. For example, you may have made a contract that you will not have children, and suddenly you come to an age and perhaps a proposal was given to you in a meditative state, and you decide to make a soul contract and birth a child or children through your womb space. That could happen. Or perhaps you wish to dissolve a contract and there's a certain soul that wishes to birth through you, but you say, nay, not this lifetime, I'm sorry, find another gateway. And that's okay too. And then of course, perhaps the questions come up, what about miscarriages and abortion and conception through forced intercourse? I will make a separate video addressing these aspects. So usually these are the ways that these soul contracts are made. And since we are the creators of our life, we have consciously made those contracts, whether we are at this moment in time conscious or unconscious of it. But our oversoul, if you will, our higher selves consciously made those contracts. So perhaps the question comes up, how do I reclaim my conception sovereignty? And it just, in my truth and understanding, it would just start with connecting to yourself. Know yourself. Connect to your higher self. Connect to your truth. Connect to your intuition, your innate intuition. Connect to your innate abilities, your birthright. And just by starting to open up to the possibility that this is possible, you are saying yes, and you are opening yourself up to be able to connect to that unconscious part of you that is already there. It's already a part of you. It's right there. It's dormant, or it's just not fully in your conscious awareness, but it's right there for you to grab, and you just have to open up the door and say, yes, I wish to connect to that. I wish to say yes. I personally think it would be a beautiful thing, a beautiful world, when we are all consciously aware of our moment of conception, not only for ourselves, but also the soul that is wishing to birth through us. How are we conceiving? What is the environment that we are conceiving in? We may want to make it a very beautiful occasion, that moment of conception. That being said, there may be lots of challenges and disharmonious events happening during the moment of conception, because that is what the soul who is birthing through you has chosen for its life to come. Does that make sense? Because this is not only about you choosing the conscious conception, it's also, there is also the soul that's coming in and their contracts and life choices that they have made in their in-between life. And maybe they have chosen that you are unconscious of the conception, or maybe they have chosen that it was a wild conception or a very conscious conception that you knew the exact moment. There are many tribes and civilizations in the now and the past and ancient timelines that practice conscious conception, or they didn't even practice it. It was the norm. It was just how things are, especially in higher dimensions. That's just how it is. We just know these things. So for example, the best way that I could explain that is as we become more sensitive to energies around us, our sensitivity can feel more what's happening and what's coming into our consciousness and awareness, because we are not separate, of course, right? We have the ability to tune into that all that is, always, because we are not separate. And if we wish to tune into that information, we can. And, you know, that's not some far out there idea. I mean, even in this physical world, when a storm is coming, we know that the storm is coming before the storm is here, is it not? From a distance, we see dark clouds, we may feel the temperature changes a little bit, there's a humidity or a mist in the air, we may hear faint thunder coming. And those are the vibrations of the storm, the frequency of that storm coming closer and closer, and we can feel it before it's actually here. And thus we can feel the vibration of a soul or this birth experiences coming into our awareness, our consciousness, before it actually arrives here. And that being said, the preconception to conception, you know, we can have the choice to say yes please, no thank you, or perhaps conversate even with those souls, even perhaps conversate with those souls, or that soul that wishes to come through your portal, get to know them, have a relationship with them perhaps, and perhaps from there they still birth, or perhaps they don't birth through you, perhaps they birth through someone else. We all have our very specific and unique journeys, you know, it'll always be different, and it'll be your story. And if you wish to know more about conscious conception, I invite you to do your research, go into deep meditation, connect to the Akashic records, connect to perhaps your other timelines or lifetimes that was possible, different dimensions or your higher sources, and get that information for yourself. I encourage you to find your truth with this, and the intention that I even share this information is perhaps to inspire you or to be a stepping stone to your truth, your unique truth. This is my truth that comes through, and all of our truths may be unique and different. So I hope this is received with love, and tune in for my other videos if you're interested, and I send you so much love and many blessings to you and your day. Thank you for tuning in.